Good morning. Good morning.
I'd like to talk to you this morning about why this church is important and worth supporting, and how God is leading us. To do that, I need to talk about faith in my spiritual journey. To do that, I need to talk about how high the bar is for me, and really all of us. To do that, I need to talk about my ancestor, William Brewster, and the Pilgrims. Their faith was so strong and never faltered. I've often wondered if my faith is as strong. The adversity they went through, and they never gave up faith. Their home country persecuted them, jailed them, and even put them to death for their faith. They had to worship in secrecy. Imagine being told to close your doors and stop worshiping. We can understand, can't we, right now? They tried to find a new home in Holland, but they were losing their English ways and traditions, but never their faith. They had to find a new world. They decided to go to the new world. 3 times the boat they bought, the Speedwell, leaked. They had to abandon the boat and had to decide who would go on the Mayflower and who would stay. Families were separated. Mothers said, "Please take my child to the new world, because I know it will be a better place, because God is with you." The journey was not a cruise on the QE2. The Mayflower was a cargo ship, and the conditions on board were deplorable. They trudged on, praying and keeping the faith. A huge storm blew them off course. Funny how they were taken off course by a brutal storm and plopped down on Cape Cod Bay. God had a plan. God brought them to what is now Plymouth. God is good. They arrived at the wrong time, wrong place, but God was with them. They would survive. Faith never faltered. Half their numbers died that first winter. Of the 18 women, 4 were left. Still, their faith never wavered. The Pilgrims did not have a church building. They were a community of believers. They came together. So, when they gave out of God's blessings, they were not only giving back to God, but they were giving to one another, which strengthened their faith. I'll say that again. They were a community of believers. They came together, so when they gave out of God's blessing, they were not only giving to God, but they were giving to one another. Sounds like Congregationalism, doesn't it? After all they had endured, the defining moment that would test their faith occurred in the spring. Captain Jones was returning to England with the Mayflower. This was the last and only link to their home. He came to them and said, "You got a raw deal. Wrong place, wrong time. Half of you have died. I'll take anyone back with me who wants to go." Not one said they'd go. That is a strong faith. They never apologized for their belief, never gave up, and were willing to die for their faith. Wow. Is your faith that strong? That's the bar. So how does a boy who had that history, a raised Unitarian, end up a member of this church? Being a past chair of the deacons, attending Bible study, and being asked to speak to you today. Through my spiritual journey of faith, God brought me right here. 19 years ago, Belinda and I were searching. The sermon we heard from Pastor Bill that first time was titled Wrestling with God. Wow, if that's on a call. I told Pastor Bill during the new member orientation, I'm not that Bible verse type of guy. He told me everyone is on a different path, a different part of the path. Ours is not to stand behind, pushing you toward faith. Ours is to stand in front of you, reaching back, saying, follow me. This is the way, the truth, and the life. So God was speaking. I know you're wrestling with faith. The love and faith of this church is overwhelmingly strong. You are here for a reason. I have great things in store for Chiltonville Church. I'm sending you a great warrior. Her name is Susan. Here I am, Lord. I will go, Lord, if you lead me. This, the sister church to the Pilgrims, the last vestige of the Pilgrim faith. Come to know a few things. Trials of life are inevitable. God is not in the calamities themselves, but faith is how you get through. God does not steer you around the storm. He gives you the strength to walk right through the middle of it and endure it, because our Plymouth is on the other side. My family has been through a lot of tough times. My wife's health, my son's struggles. Life is a battle. But my faith, built through this church and Pastor Susan, is stronger than any broadsword that the enemy has. The love and prayers of this church have navigated us all through the storm. I know that when my Captain Jones comes to say, you've got a raw deal, come with me, I'll take you to safety. Because of this church and your love and the faith that we all have built here together. No, Captain Jones, God is good.
All the time.
I have the faith of my ancestors. This church and all of you have given me that strength. We are a community of believers. We have come together. When we give out of God's blessings, we are not only giving back to God, but we are giving to one another. This is the strength. This is the faith. I know I can never repay what God and this church has given to me, but I can cheerfully give what I can. That's all He asks.